welcome once again. Thank you, Victor. So for the last time, we had a beautiful icebreaker where we were talking about the things you're obsessed with or currently obsessed with. So this was how it was going. So you would say one thing you're obsessed with. After you are done, then you say, I pass the mic to, maybe I'll say I pass the mic to Miriam. Then Miriam will also say one thing she's obsessed with. Then when she's done, she'll say the same thing and pass it to another person. So last week we ended on Ayomi, I think. Yeah, we ended with her. And I promised Cardoso, my dearest coordinator, that today he would be the one to start. So Rafael Cardoso, kindly start for us and then let's continue.
I was sending the messages, but all right, now you stopped me from doing work. Thank you, Priscilla. So, as I remember, it was something you were obsessed with, something weird, something like that. Obsessed.
It could be anything. It could be anything. Something you are just obsessed with. Okay. Something you like to do a lot.
I don't get obsessed with anything. Maybe I can tell you something weird that now I'm enjoying a lot.
That's fine.
Eat some acai during the summer.
Is what?
Acai is like a berry. It's more Brazilian berry that you can turn into a sort of ice cream.
Wow.
It's supposed to be kind of healthy on one side, kind of bad on the other side, but it's pretty nice. So yeah, I would say that's a weird thing I could say.
Miriam will enjoy that, I'm very sure. She likes trying new things, so Miriam would love it. Yes. So Rafael, please pass it on to someone. Pass the mic on to someone so that they continue.
Sure. Do I need to remember who was not here? I mean, we can go. I think Sukran hasn't spoke, right? So if she wants,
yeah. Hi, Sukran.
Hey guys. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out what I'm obsessed with. I don't know, but I know that I love music so much, so maybe that's it. I don't think I'm
that's
obsessed
nice.
with it, yeah.
Can you give us like any particular
what?
Like title or maybe genre or something?
Okay. Classical music, yeah. Classical music, yeah.
Do you have any you would want to share, like the title? Maybe you never can tell. I'll be playing next on the next icebreaker.
Okay, I love Handel's Aces and Galatea. It's not very popular, but something I love so much.
I'm already researching.
I say Ayo says Handel Messiah. Handel Messiah is very, very good. I also love it, but Aces and Galatea of Handel is good.
Nice. I'm actually searching it up, so
okay,
maybe I can play as we are.
It's a love story. It's more like Romeo and Juliet kind of story.
Oh, that would be so cute. Okay, so you can pass the mic on to someone.
I would love to come in here. I think Sukren was lying. Sukren loves business. From the moment I've known her for a long time now. I think she loves business. So I don't know why she's talking about music right now.
Yeah, I love business. Yeah, but it's something that music is more personal to me.
Okay.
So you can pass the mic on to someone.
Last person for today, please.
See.
Okay.
Let me pass the mic to Alfred. Totally.
Yeah. Hi, Alfred.
Hey, what's good?
Yeah, nice. So tell us one thing you're obsessed with.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can.
So you tell us one thing you're obsessed with or something you've been doing for quite some time now. You just share with us. You never can tell. Maybe we would like to do the same. It seems your voice is far. We can't hear. We have two Alfreds here. So since first Alfred we can't hear him. Maybe the second Alfred. Alfred Alomachi, I think. Yes, he could unmute and then take it up for us.
You go my name. I'm particularly upset. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. It's low though, but yeah, we can.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, clear.
Right. So yeah, you were asking what I'm obsessed about. Can it be anything at all?
Yes, it
Yeah,
can be
anything.
anything.
All right. So I actually write songs. Yeah. And
Wow.
yeah, I do on my free time when I want to get creative. I mean, outside work, I just write something down.
Then
Yeah.
one of these days, please, I'll contact you, okay, on MetaMost. You'll be giving us like some little, you use us for rehearsal, okay? So you give
Sure, no
us some
problem.
little, yes.
Sure, no
That's
problem.
what we'll be jamming to on the next icebreaker. So please keep that in mind. I'll reach out to you on MetaMost.
Right. I get you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone,
Right.
for participating. Mayor, please continue. The floor is
Yeah,
yours.
thank you, Priscilla, for that. I don't know. I was expecting someone to say mobile games. So if you don't see me walking, I am playing football. I don't know why my camera is not capturing this, but e-football. I love mobile games. I also play PS5 and all that, but I like doing it on mobile the more. So yeah, I don't know who knows how to play e-football, and if you do, please send me a DM and we can connect and play. Yeah. Oh, Miriam, you do.
I
So yeah.
also do the same.
Oh wow. I hope you guys enjoyed that round of icebreaker, and we'll be moving forward. And I think what we'll be doing first will be discussing the presentation from Jan. Jan, in the middle of the week, sent a presentation, a pre-recorded presentation about the deep dive overview of deep funding, and I was watching it. I'll confess, I did not watch it to the end, but it entails quite a lot. A lot. I guess that was the reason why I did not watch it to the end because I guess I was filled almost towards the end of the video. So yeah, I'll be calling on Jan to make a comment about that before we move on to the discussions, questions or contributions or something about related to that. So Jan, please.
Sorry. Victor, what else do we have on the agenda for today?
Okay. We have Ayo going to present a template for the half-yearly report. So he has to explain to every circle year what they will be expecting and how we would want it to be structured, something like that.
Yeah.
And we also have the business development team coming to introduce what the work group is about.
Okay. Shouldn't we do those things first? Because depending on the number of questions, my part could take long. And I think it's important to have everybody with a fresh mind on the health yearly report and the templates, and not when I've completely exhausted them with my 100 ideas.
Okay.
So this is just a suggestion. So Ayo is doing that, or are you doing that, the templates?
Ayo will be doing that. Yeah.
If Ayo would be ready for that, then I would suggest to do that first. And then maybe also do the BizDev first, and then I can take whatever time is left, probably.
All right. Thank you very much, Jan. So Ayo, are you ready?
Yes, please give me a co-host or allow me present.
Okay. I thought I granted you that. Yeah, you are co-host now.
Okay, 1 second.
By the way, the last time Ayo spoke to us, he was in Geneva. Right now, he's in Nigeria. Welcome back to Nigeria, Ayo.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm sharing screen now. Sometimes these things just go to hide. I don't know why they do that sometimes.
It's
But
because you
we
just
have
returned to Nigeria.
because okay. All right. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ian. For people who are new, who have not participated in any of the half-yearly events before, usually we take retrospective reports for 6 months into the year. So sometimes it's the first half, sometimes it's the second half. And when we started, what we do was to look at what we've done and then create a plan going forward. So we've been doing that. We've done for 20 for 2024, and now we are doing for 2025. So recently we just made a few improvements on it. No issues, just some improvements. And I would like to say before, I continue that this is still work in progress. We are ready to go for this half yearly, but in time, the next one might also have further improvement on what we have right now, So I just wanted to mention that. So before we just have it in single parts. Now we are breaking into 2 parts. One part is the non-financial, and then the other part is the financial. The idea is that the non-financial may be a public-facing document that we have from every circle. The financial may or may not be, depending on how detailed it goes or how much, how much details is in there. But of course, this is a circle thing, and then it will be a report that we can access either via presentation or by other means. So usually this is very straightforward. Same thing as before, just little changes, goals and plans in retrospective. That is what you wanted to do that you stated in your last report, right? So this is covering for January to June 2025. So when you did July to December 2024, you had some 6-month projections. So you said we are going to do this, we are going to do ABC, XYZ, DEF and things like that. Here is how you bring those things into recall and then share exactly, what in retrospect now, how did it go and things like that. Now, we want coordinators to not necessarily make this long, right? We're trying to see if we can give some character length here, but I think we decided to just allow coordinators do their thing, keep it in mind to keep it concise and things like that. So personal notes are welcome. We are not asking for any particular style, right? We just want you to highlight the things you plan to do and then tell us how it went, your experience with your plan. So it could be a goal, it could be an activity. You are seeing my screen now. This says planned activity or goal 1. You are free to name it anything depending on what your plans were, right? This is just a layout that helps us, the readers, to understand what you are talking about. And when we share with the coordinators, the link to the document that they are quoting will also be there, so that if anybody is reading, they can always click the link to go see, what you are making reference to. So I think this part is pretty much straightforward. No particular reason to dwell so long on that. Now, part B, 1B is something new or slightly new, right? So this is where you help the community understand how you function as a circle, your internal processes, roles, responsibilities, and things like that. This is a very good way to help the community understand your circle, or especially how maybe your circle has also evolved. This is like us looking into a time mirror, holistically as a circle. For this part, you are free to call it point 1 if you don't know what to name it, but there are also some questions here that you can, pick and answer. These questions are suggestions. It would be nice if you answer them, but we are not saying answer all of them, right? maybe there's a question that you think we should have asked that is not even here. All right, that's why this is written in blue, right? So you could put those questions there and then answer them. If you understand your circle and then you understand, you know exactly what you would like to community to know, especially in terms of how things have evolved, right? So this is 1B. And then in 1C, you can then give us your next 6 months projections, right? I would like to make a distinction here, right? There is part 2, which is financial, and then there are also financial projections. Now, sometimes goals and plans and objectives may overlap with their budgets, with their respective budget in terms of budget. So we understand that that may happen, but we are reserving part 2, which you will see now, for financial projections, budgets, and things like that. But again, we leave this to the discretion of the coordinators as to how they would like to write this part. But here in 1C, we would like to see goals or your plans, in perspective for the next 6 months. So it means that you're saying, you're sharing with us your plans for July through December 2025. Again, you can use point 1 to whatever number of points you put. You can also make it some outlook. If it's a title thing, make it a title thing. Yeah, so if it has a name, it's nice to have that name. So if Event Circle, for example, wants to start Instagram Live or TikTok Live, you can say TikTok Live. I'm just kidding, right? I'm not sure Event Circle has that kind of thing in mind. All right, so that's for part 1, and now part 2 is the time and the financials. This part, Mayo has been putting together detailed information, data concerning what each circle spent in terms of hours, in terms of tasks, in terms of categories, and also in terms of proper payments. Now you are supposed to use this, to also run your retrospective. Once again, similar style. This was the budget that we had in mind. This is how much we spent. If there are reasons, please add the reasons. If there are insights, please add the insights. Like I said earlier, this is just a template, right? The discretion of how you write is totally left to you. But the what that is important is that you must be able to speak to the hours, speak to the task. You can speak to the categories, and then you can speak to the things that you experience based on what you set out to do. And then this is to guide time or budget point or question, depending on what exactly you are answering. So you have tags here that indicates if you went below the budget, especially if you're speaking to budget, if you had to change, if there was a new initiative factor, or you plan to spend $10 and you spent exactly $10, executed as planned, things like that. The reason you have tags is so that you don't have to use so many words. So that there are about 10 circles, if not 11, with the workgroup and things like that. So it might be a lot for everyone to read if we all use plenty words. So this is why you have tags. And then you can keep the notes as short as possible. CC, Rafael Cardoso. Just kidding. So so yeah, that part. I like Ian's profile picture. He's laughing in the profile picture. So that's some good motivation to continue. All right. So yeah. I think that kind of explains it. I don't want to read the questions because the questions are not hard and fast, which tasks took most time in general. Why certain months show more activity in certain tasks, to show workload of individuals over time, things, we will leave this to the coordinators, but let these templates guide you. It would be nice to see good details, concise. The idea is to look at these things and see and discover and understand. So please, let's keep that in mind. Finally, for 2B, is budget forecasting for the next 6 months. Also very straightforward. What's the budget? Is it a time thing? Is it a task thing? Is it an initiative outlook? Is it just a point? Please outline them, then give some notes concerning them. And when you are finally done with all of that, you can just give us summary takeaway from this report. Summary, keep your summaries to as little as possible and as much as needed, something like that. So you can have that and then run the point. With this, I think I can take comments and questions. I wanted to not spend so much time on that so that in case there are questions and answers or comments and, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Ayo. Do we have, yeah, Vani? Vani,
Yeah, cheers for that. Yeah, that was great. I was just wondering when you mentioned the financials information that Maya is going to put together for us, where do we access that?
we are going to be sending that out, possibly today or tomorrow, but you have that before the end of tomorrow.
Nice one, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Vani.
Do we have any other question for Ayo? I will not be answering Ayo's question again. So yeah, Jan.
Surprise. Not so much a question, but maybe a clarification. Not sure. Maybe I missed it in the explanation, but there's a reason why we are separating more the storytelling, if you want, and the financial information. Last time when we created the Health Yearly report, which was great work from you all, by the way. I was really surprised how quickly you were able to put that together, and we had really a great report. But then the question was, to whom do we publish this? And on one hand, all the information is more or less public. There are no secrets there or anything. But on the other hand, we figured it might attract the wrong crowd or people for the wrong reasons if we put out in a document budgets of multi-million that we are going to spend and where we are going to spend that on, etc. We didn't think that might be the right message around the culture that we want to create in deep funding. So we kept it a little bit low profile. I don't even remember if we put it on the website or not, but we for sure didn't push it on social media or whatever. But that's also in a way a missed opportunity because there was also a lot of interesting information and that could, learn people about educate people on all the things that we're doing. So for this reason, we thought about maybe we should have a public version of the Health Yearly report and a version that is a little bit more internally targeted. That is the actual budget request to Eightfold Path with all the numbers in it. And then we can use the part without the numbers, but with the learning, with the planning, with the ideas, and put that out to the wider audience. And yeah, that is why the operations team made this template and already separated that in the template, because then they don't have to do the work separating it afterwards, but it's also already separated in the source. And they can, together, all of us can make, two closely connected documents. So to the Eightfold Path, we'll send everything, the numbers and the context. My guess is they will look mostly at the numbers. And to the community, wider community, will proudly present everything, but without all the specific numbers. That's just the clarification I wanted to give here.
Yeah, thank you, Jan. Thank you. I forgot that. So, Ubio, please.
You're such good colleagues, right?
Ubio, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I really don't know how to explain my point. I hope I do well. I'm a little bit worried about how reflective the hours are going to be. And I want to know, is there a way I can actually confirm the hours that we are going to have on the sheet is actually what it is? And I'm saying this not so that's why I had to start by saying I don't know how to say it well. So I'm not saying this doubting the capacity of the operation circles and the IT circle. I know how much work you guys have done however, I'm saying this because in the past 6 months, there've been a lot of back and forth with respect to the hours. We've had few changes, for example, in the boards and all of this, using the boards and all of that. So I'm trying to, before that, we were using an Excel sheet. So I want to know if there's going to be a system to be actually validate if the hours that is going to put out for the circles are actually going to be, especially being that in my circle for the past 2 to 3 months, we've had people constantly complaining that the hours they did put in did not equate to the money that was being paid. And this has happened not once, not twice. So that is where probably the skepticism is coming from. So I would really want to have a system to validate the hours.
Thank you, Bill. I wish someone like Ro was here, but I'll quickly answer your question. First off, we have the operation support regarding complaints about not receiving your complete pay and all those kinds of stuff. So if anybody from your circle has issue with incomplete pay for their tax, they should reach out to the operation support. We have a channel for that, and I think everyone is there, right? I think Ayo added everyone to that channel. And for the second one, or the second point where you you probably would have issue with corresponding tax, or checking if the hours given to you is the same as the hours that you are actually going to the same as the hours that you did. I will just make a simple input. If you have issues with the hours that you will be given, you can make a special request to me. I would probably download all the tax that your circle have done for the past 6 months, both the title of the tax, the description of the tax, and the hours made for that tax. So I can download it and then send it for you, and you can do a little cross check. But I would love to let you know that everyone has the different way of getting paid in the circles. Some people get paid per week, some people get paid every 2 weeks, depending on how you request for your payment. Some people feel like, okay, after they work in a month, they collect their payment for the previous month at the end of the month and all those kinds of stuff. So the way I collated, or the way I ended up collecting this payment, or the amount and the hours spent, I collated it per month, and I collated it according to the start dates of your tax. So if you did your tax, if you started doing your tax by 29th of May and you finished it by 5th of June, for instance, that tax is recorded as, or that tax is counted as May payments. That's how I did it. So you can have these issues where you feel like, I collected more payments in June, but why is it more in May? It's because of your start date, something like that. So that's the way I ended up grouping it. Yeah. So, but if you need that special sheets where you have all your tax, I can as well do that for you. I hope that clarifies your question.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for that second clarity. I think it's very helpful.
All right. So Ayo, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I was almost putting it down. I wanted to say that one of the things that we experience is that because we are evolving and we are changing and we're making things better, it's also why, it's taking us in operations time to get this information or this data out, go across 2 platforms, get those things. We are trying our best to make sure that we give out correct details. And in subsequent time, we are discussing and seeing how this financial part is also structured and comes out maybe in some sheet form, something like that, where it's there, and then you can just fill count out to fact, So I'm just saying that we understand these pains, and then we are also we are trying to make it better. So hopefully the next half yearly it will be even better. On behalf of Mayor, Coordinator of Operations Circle, we apologize.
Yeah, we apologize for that. And Roger is doing an amazing job with making these details public. You can there is a site Roger is working on right now, or a product Roger is working on right now, that you can just filter. Okay, I want to see tax made from May 24th to June 24th for dev outreach, and you just get it, and you can download the CSV of that particular period of time. So yeah, so this is something Roger has been working on. Probably not public yet, but yeah, it's in works, and probably before the end of the year. So for the next half yearly, you'll be seeing this information yourself, and you can as well. Yeah, something like that. Rafael Cardoso, please.
Yeah, so I guess there's no more questions. So I just wanted to say something on this topic. So basically, guys, we should have the presentations for the reports on the 23rd at 2 p.m. UTC, the same time as the all ends, 23rd of July. You can come and present your report, or if you want to make it real nice, you can have a little presentation with the most important points, whatever you guys prefer. We are trying to keep the presentations to 10 minutes for each circle. We have about 11 circles, so that's still 110 minutes. So we think potentially it will take around 2.5 hours to 3 hours for all the circles if we have questions. But we'll see. Also, 10 minutes is the maximum. So if you feel that you don't need 10 minutes, don't have to put more information or anything like that. Keep it simple, stick to the most important topics, and it's fine to be less than 10 minutes. But that's basically it. We'd love to have you present, share a little bit about your highlights and your experiences. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the event circle or to operations, which I'm sure is going to make a great work clarifying any questions. And maybe I need to continue speaking because Mayor is frozen. Or are you back? You're back.
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know what happened, but yeah, sorry about that. So I missed the last part of what you said, but I hope it's probably
It was
still. Yeah.
Rafael was giving information about next week, which is when the half-yearly report will be.
All right, I was going to make
presented.
input, and we are going to stress on the 10 minutes, so that we don't go over the hour or too long. It's going to be maximum of 10 minutes, like Rafael said, and there's going to be a timer. With the event circle, we are going to implement that timer. Nothing more than 10 minutes is accepted, please. So because we have a lot of circles, and this is also one of the reasons why you are probably not getting your 6 months matrix yet, because collating for 11 circles has been a lot, and it has been solely my responsibility. So yeah, I guess that's the reason why it has not been out for a while now. So today or tomorrow, like I said, you'll probably get it in batches. Probably review circle will come first because there were a lot, and collating them was my first priority because it was the biggest circle as well. And then followed by marketing, and then the rest will come as well. So thank you very much, Ayo, for your presentation. Thank you very much, Rafael, for your addition. Thank you very much, Jan, for your clarification. And we'll be moving forward with today's agenda. And we have Judith from BizDev introducing what the business development work group is all about, and who makes this work group, who is working on this and that in the work group. I don't know how much details she wants to give concerning that work group, but yeah. Judith, please.
No, I'm trying to keep it really quick. I'm gonna keep my camera off because you're all frozen to me. And I'm assuming keeping my camera on is not gonna make the network better. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can. Clear.
Okay, cool. So the business development circle, it is actually not yet a circle, it is still a work group, has been an initiative that has been established in May this year. So right now it's a work group and it consists of Jan, Rama, and I. We've been trying to get this initiative off the ground. What is the goal of this initiative or this circle? Basically, as the BizDev name suggests, it's identifying, developing, and closing new business opportunities for deep funding. For example, with organizations that are in the same field, with governments, with research institutions, with communities, and with other initiatives. Why do we want to onboard partners in the first place? That is, we have two main reasons. That is, one, to grow our community of AI developers, and two, would be to drive platform adoption. Our platform is so good now. We spend, I don't know how many thousands of hours on making the platform what it is. So it would be a shame if only deep funding is using it, or if only the Singularity Net ecosystem partners are using it. So we want to basically offer the platform as a service to other partners. And this would kind of represent the first effort to also generate revenue for deep funding. So it's quite exciting. So what could a potential partner do with the platform? They can use the platform to publish their own funding rounds. They can publish RFPs, or they can publish ideation challenges. And the cool thing is, what we're now offering to our partners is that if what they want to publish, or if the funding round that they want to host is really aligned with our goals, deep funding would offer them to co-sponsor either the funding round, the RFP, or the ideation challenge. So yeah, it's quite exciting. So we would basically sponsor 50% of the budget. So we've been operating now for about 8 weeks. 2 months and a little bit. So we're still babies, I'd say. But here's a little overview of what we did in the past weeks. We designed and developed the Deep Funding Partnership page, which is now live on the Deep Funding website. If you want, you can have a look if you can find it. And there will be feedback to us to see if it's too hidden or not. So look for a tab that says partnership on the Deep Funding website. The website team did a great job developing this. And this is kind of the starting point where a partner would come, get an overview of what we're offering to partners. And there's our pitch deck on there and a partnership application form. We have also developed, the BizDev Circle, in collaboration with the website team, has developed a completely new landing page called AI for Peace. And this is, we talked about the AI for Peace initiative before, and maybe you remember, we as a community liked it so much that we decided to make it into almost like it's a separate brand. But we're now offering two partners to partner on AI for Peace initiatives, and we have a completely separate page for that. I'm not 100% sure if it's live yet. I don't think so, but it is soon going live. We spend a lot of time designing and creating resources for partners. As I mentioned, we have a whole pitch deck now. We created the partnership application form. We created internal documents for our circle to help us with the partnership selection, where we outlined our values and goals and processes and outcomes for this initiative and what type of partners we would like to partner with. And we also made sure that we have a contract template so that we're ready to go in case a partner is ready to partner with us. We also had the first partnership discussions and a first test partnership with C#, which is still going on. We can't give you the full update on that yet, but I'm not sure if we ever shared about this partnership. I believe we have. If you haven't been there, it's basically a little partnership with C Sharp, and we're partnering on the AI for Peace challenge, and it's the AI for Peace India challenge. Either way, we'll give you the update on that once that has concluded. We created a BizDev role description, as we're now slowly ready to onboard new members, and we'll be sharing the role description with you soon. So if any of you are interested in joining the circle, you're welcome to apply. We'll share that via the marketing channels, and it will also be up on the community website. So yeah, that's what we've been up to for now. Jan and Rama, if I forgot something, please add. And if you have questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah, thank you, Judith. Rama, Jan, any contribution towards what Judith just said before we entertain questions?
Thanks, Judith, for the presentation. Yeah, we're doing a lot of things and a lot of effort, especially also from Judith here. So thank you. But I think it's clear that we're making a big bet on partners. We want to open up our platform for partners and become more like a platform than just an outlet for the deep funding treasury, basically. And it's always a little bit of chicken egg situation. So we're taking the leap. We're doing all these things that Judith mentioned. We're also preparing our back office for partners to the extent where we will be creating smart contracts with escrows, where a partner can put their part of the funding, we could put our part of the funding, where in that back office the partners will be able to see what the amount is in their escrow. We also talked recently about opening up our back office platform with our task management system for partners as well, and maybe have a separate pool of people that could work for partners and not only for the funding. This came from a suggestion from Esther, who had some needs there, and we thought, well, maybe that's interesting for partners. If they work with an RFP or a pool, they can also have some work around that done, like a marketing initiative or a brochure or a social media thing, whatever. So all these things we're putting in place currently, but we don't know if we will be successful. So it might be that we're doing all that work and then nobody will come. However, from what I heard from Geneva was in that case a very important first experience, first kickoff or whatever. And from what I hear from the team that was there was a lot of interest, and it bodes well. Also, these things like partnerships with other organizations, they will usually take a long timeline before they get to fruition. You need talks and other talks, and then talk with the manager and with the manager of the manager, and somebody has to put their signature, and then actually money needs to be transferred, and they will probably start small before they do bigger things. So it will be a while until that whole machinery comes to life. But yeah, thinking of it, maybe you could say in a way, the most distinguishing thing we did to make deep funding interesting for partners is to become a separate entity. So being Deep Initiatives right now, we are separate. We have our own identity. We will have a new branding. Meaning that also partners that don't feel close association with ASI or even with SingularityNet would still be welcome on our portal as a partner for our grant or for all the grants that we're doing. So yeah, we're putting a lot of pieces out there and in the hope that we will be able to expand. And if we are able to expand and welcome partners on our platform, but also welcome the funding sources from partners on our platform, yeah, it will make us grow in scope, but it will also make us more resilient because we are not only dependent on one party, even if that party is SingularityNet, and even if we have quite a large treasury and so on, it would always be better to have multiple sources, and maybe at some point also enterprises or organizations that do not come from crypto, so that we're also not that much dependent from any market fluctuations in crypto anymore, but we can be more of a platform. Of course, having said that, it is all aligned to our mission and vision and our purpose. We don't want to have any partner. It's also not only about the money. We do want to make the world a better place, basically. And we are about AI, although I would already say that is secondary towards being ethical and doing things that are good for the world and all the people. So we hope that our platform will be a welcoming environment for people, for organizations to get in touch with community, with developers, with creators that are aligned with that vision, and we can build things together for a better world. Yeah, so it will be exciting and to see the next 6 months. It might need 12 months, I don't know. Hopefully we'll get within 12 months the first smaller initiatives, maybe a partner that wants to join us in an ideation challenge, which doesn't cost a lot. Maybe we'll see 1 or 2 RFPs appearing, or maybe it will go much faster, I don't know. But yeah, it's my hope that we will at least see some movement there and get started.
Thank you very much, Jan. I think I have a bit of a question. From what I see from the business dev, it seems like you are the main motive of BizDev is to push deep funding to the wider audience, to new markets, new partners, and all this kind of stuff. Does this also include pushing our existing AI services to businesses that will probably need them and all those kinds of stuff?
Yeah, for sure. If you have a large, so everything ties together, which is also the theme of my recording. Everything ties together, and if we get a greater community, then there will also be more eyeballs on SingularityNet and SingularityNet tech stack and the ASI tech stack. If ASI and the tech stack become more interesting, then I hope we'll see an inflow of community members. If a partner, if you would have watched the video to the end, Victor, then you would have heard me saying, if you would have put attention, that if a partner wants to co-fund with us, then they have to abide by all the conditions, meaning they have to help the platform grow or OpenCog Hyperon grow. That is the case with all our funding initiatives. However, if a partner puts 100% of the budget on the table, they still have to align with our values and our broader vision, but they can do something that does not per se help the platform or OpenCog Hyperon. It may be some other beneficial goal. What you saw in the BGI round already, for instance. And those will still be very great projects, very useful, etc. But a little bit wider than the slightly narrow purpose of the deep funding treasury. So yeah, we're widening it. We're trying to get more people. All these people will get in touch with our technology, not just the marketplace, ASI Create that we're working on, MetaCycle, all of that stuff. Which is why we're also putting out, working and talking very well, more intensely over the past 2 weeks or so on Deep Academy. But yeah, just one out of many initiatives.
All right, thank you for the clarifications, Ian. Do we have any other questions? Do we have any contributions towards that?
If I may, I just wanted to add that the AI for Peace is live. It is an SSO to your deep funding, so you don't need to create a new account. The SSO is actively working now, so you can just use the same credential that you have in your deep funding to get into it. But it is live currently, and people are already submitting ideas there.
Okay,
Now, we had great discussions on the AI part there, so you already have something where you can check the originality of your idea. We're also working on filtering and so on. So we're creating AI-based tools, which connects it with Deep Lab.
Yeah.
So everything is connected here.
It's one nucleus altogether.
Rama, another question is, do we have it? Do we have a different site for the AI for Peace submissions, or is still via defunding.ai?
No, it's AI for Peace.ai. But we are going to work with the internal portal site so that we have a link from the portal to it.
Okay, please can you attach the link to chat?
Yes, I'll do that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the bigger picture there is that we want to have a separate environment where we collect all ideas from everybody. So AI for Peace, but also open ideas, maybe under another URL with a similar site. We'll figure that out. And then filter them and select them. And then already ideas that have some value that are pre-selected by CRISP will end up on our portal on the ideation place. So now the portal is open for all the ideas, but we are going to separate that a little bit so we get less noise in our portal. The ideas that will land there will be high quality ideas already, and then we'll filter them further and, well, do lots of interesting things with those ideas.
All right, thank you, Ian. Do we have any more questions or contributions before we move to the next topic? I guess not. I guess we'll keep hearing Ian's voice because he's the next topic.
Yeah. Sorry, folks.
So Ian, yeah, we would love you to present, or I don't know if it's going to be a presentation or more like a overview of what you did in the presentation, and I will attach the link of that presentation to chat. So if anyone wants to go and see the full picture, wants to understand the full explanation, you can just watch the video.
Yeah, if we would have a poll, I'm not sure if it's possible. I'm just thinking about that right now. Then I would ask how many people have watched that video, and maybe we could have 3 answers like I watched it completely, I opened it or watched it partly, and I didn't watch it at all. And there's no judgment there. I was going for a 20-minute video, and I was surprised when after the recording was done, etc. And I looked at it, so wow, was I talking for 40 minutes? So, those who know me know that happens more often. I'm better in talking in these situations than in listening, I'm afraid. But it also, in this case, genuinely tells something about how much there is to tell, because I was aiming for high level, for just scratching the surface. I didn't go into all the details, but it's still a lot. Yeah, great. Thank you, Victor. I won't answer this one myself. That would be cheating. But yeah, it would be interesting. It would also help me a little bit with my story right now. If I know that only 3 people have watched the whole thing, then I can tell it a little bit differently than if 40 people have watched, which I'm sure is not the case. I think the 3 is probably closer to the truth. While you're doing this poll, let me just give you the general idea here, and then we can look at the answers. Maybe half a year ago, I thought that we're pretty much done with deep funding. We have all these funding things, we have the community hubs. Now, only thing we need to do is mature everything and make it better and bigger and so on. But then we had all these new ideas coming in and new things, and we had that rebranding. We had deep initiatives as an organization, and it also fed into the idea that we could have a more like a multi-site environment, and that we could give more focus to individual projects like hackathons, like labs, like the community hubs, like ideation, like AI for Peace, Academy. And now we're getting into a situation where this whole ecosystem that we're building, also from a tooling perspective, and also from a process and a community perspective, is becoming increasingly complex. So on the one hand, I'm seeing all these separate things emerging. I'm really happy about that. On the other hand, it also occurs to me whenever it's like this faceted shape. When I look at one thing, I see that it's connected to all the other thing. And then when I turn it around and look at this other facet, then I see, oh, wait a minute, this is also connected to all the other ones, but from a different perspective. And while I was thinking about it, and actually also during the last town hall, I think Priscilla asked, hey, Jan, Rafa, do you have any juicy news for us, some inside information? And I said no, because I want to do it properly and not just offhand give some very important milestones without giving them the attention that they deserve. And then I already thought, maybe we should become a series. So the bigger idea here is that from that video that I created, which is a tryout, we can do it better. Maybe we can have better images, maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. Probably we can do better. But I imagine that we would have one town hall where we would present the whole thing. And it would be me, and maybe Rafael would present something, maybe some others, I don't know. But it would be probably mostly me and Rafael explaining the whole helicopter view, but without going into detail. And then I imagine after that we could deep dive in things. So what does deep seed mean? What does open-ended RFPs mean? What is Deep Academy actually, and what do we want to accomplish with it? We already had some presentations on deep labs and hackathons, but I think we can also put that in the same respective. But also, what is our back office doing? And that's something that's not always visible, but yeah, even though we had some critic comments just that it's not all, we're in this transition state right now, I would say, but I think it will be great. It's already starting to be great, and I would like to present that as well. Also, where we're going, this whole BizDev thing that Judith just presented. So many things that we can go deeper. So my idea right now is one town hall, maybe the whole town hall on the helicopter view, sketching the big picture. And then in subsequent town halls, in each town hall, have this 15 or 20 minute slot where somebody takes one of these topics and then goes deeper and explains it a little bit more detail. And maybe after that, we'll have some questions or whatever, discussion that depends on the topic and the community. If we would do it that way, I'm pretty convinced we would at least need healthier to go through all the things that we are doing. But it will give a lot of very valuable material. So we could do lots of things with that. We can collect it, put it on an umbrella site where we explain everything about deep funding. We can put it in blogs. We can have short versions, pre-recorded or whatever, 1 or 2 minute explanation of each of these topics and put it out on social media or link to it whenever we need to explain something. So this will be very rich material for marketing and for, well, event circles as well, perhaps also for other circles, to explain and educate the community about everything we're doing. And if we have all that material, I hope it will also give confidence to potential partners. If they see all the things we're doing and all the plans that we're having, they will know we're not just a one-off, we're ambitious and we are a growing platform. We might also have all these things in a kind of roadmap on one of our websites, where we show all the things that we're working and give some updates in some way, what our recent accomplishments are. I'm not fond of roadmaps in the sense of in the third week of February we'll have that, and then in the second week of March we will have that. I don't like those timelines, but I see it as a backlog. Like these are the 20 things we want to do, and this has the highest priority, and this has the lowest priority, and we'll tell you when we have accomplished something. And that will change. The priorities will change over time. We'll have new things, and that's all fine for a roadmap on our website. And we can have something like that on multiple categories. So yeah, all these things will tie in together. So if we were going to do this, and it's not a given yet, so I'm looking forward to your feedback. I would hope that it's not just me talking. I will do my share. I will talk about the funding, for instance, but I hope it will be Roho talking about the back office. I hope it will be Judith talking about BizDev. I hope it will be Ubio talking about developer outreach or hackathons, and so on. And on that topic, if we have done this, or in parallel, I don't know, we could do a similar thing. We could continue and do a similar thing with circles, and have in each town hall a short presentation on each circle. Hey, this is what we are, this is what we're doing. So we're doing that right now in our all hands, but it's tied to the health yearly report. But maybe we can also do it and more with a perspective of telling the wider community why we have this circle and what kind of things we're doing. So there's a little bit of overlap there, but it might also be a little bit different. But it's an idea. We could also combine these things, but that's to be determined. So before I go further, I'd like to see the result of this poll.
Yep, the poll just ended and we have 26 responses out of 48.
Oh.
And yeah, 27% fully watched, 35 partially, 38 not yet.
Big compliments, especially to the fully. It was 40 minutes, packed with a lot of information. Let me first, for those who haven't watched it, and I'll do this, I'll just give you a sneak preview so that you have some idea what we're talking about. So let me share my screen here, if I may. Yes. So, ooh, this is the wrong one, I think. Or is it the right one? Let me see.
Yeah, it's the right one. This is what
okay. Yeah, no, I was seeing my own. Okay, now I think this is. Oops. You're seeing these diagrams, right?
Yeah, we can.
So I started with the idea of making a kind of infographic, one big diagram that tells it all. And then when I was doing it, I thought, well, that would just be hopelessly complex. Let's just have different diagrams that focus on a different area, like these facets that I was mentioning. And I've mentioned them here, but I'll go through it. So this is one about ideation and funding. There's ideas, there's the different funding initiatives, there's different types of teams. If you want to know more, watch the video. This is maybe a little bit rudimentary one about circles and clusters, how we want to do that. This is one about websites and profiles. So here are all the websites. We have a messenger here. We have the backend operations that's tied into it. And this would be a kind of gateway or bus or whatever that will collect and publish all the information. And this is everything around IDs, profiles, and login. We hope at some point we'll get to a point where you have only one profile and one ID, and you can use that to log in to every site or log into one site and then have a single sign-on, be logged in every site. And that will make it very easy to go one site to other very seamlessly without even realizing that much that you're going from one side to another. It's just one area to another area. Also related to reputation. So this is a big thing in itself. This is a perspective on product, all the things that we're building. So these are the websites, but also some AI initiatives, back office, and oh yeah, it's there, backend automation, Deep Academy, all the things that we are building. And there's a lot in progress here, as you can see. And yeah, this is about where it's been built, by whom it's been built, with some color coding. And this is a support of what Judith was telling. So we have BizDev, and this is more the financial perspective. So we have deep funding funds, treasury, and we have partner funding, and we have an overlap there. And yeah, how we are going to do with that. And a lot of things, so the risk of doing this big thing is that it will change. In 3 months already, things on this diagram will not be quite the same anymore. But so probably I'll also do it in parts, and then maybe at some point we'll feel that it's time to change it because too many things have changed and we need to have a new presentation there. But that's to be determined. And here at the end, oh yeah, this is a first suggestion of things that we could have a deep dive in. Not trying to be complete here yet, but just an indication. So yeah, in that 40-minute video, I go over all these diagrams and try to explain all the aspects from our deep funding program from these different perspectives. And I'll stop sharing now. So yeah, I would like to know from the people who saw it or saw it partially. Yeah, any feedback, any pointers? What did you think? Would it be helpful to do things like that? Should we do it differently? Should we do it all in one town hall? Or is that way too much information? And should we even do that overview in parts? I don't know. What's your feedback? I'll wait patiently here. Don't be shy. You can also say that it sucks and that we don't need to do it, that it's way too complex, that you want to see somebody else doing that presentation. Don't be gentle.
I think if I want to come in from the event circle perspective, I think it would be best if we separate and do it in a series, different town halls, different presentation, rather than everything being in one presentation of some sort?
Well, just to make sure that we're clear, the idea is to have a short section, but to do a deep dive in every town hall from now maybe to eternity. I don't know. But to start with this global overview so that people have some idea about the context and where each of these pieces should be. But maybe I should make an effort to make it even more shallow, more high level in that first thing. But I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I thought I saw Vani's and up.
You did. I put it down because I thought we weren't taking questions after all. But yeah, I kind of think I can see the point of doing a deep dive in successive town halls, but I think what people need initially is to understand how it connects up, the joined up thinking that's gone on. So I think the first presentation is about things like where people come in to all these different bits and what their pathways might be from there and how things connect up. Because, yeah, it is kind of overwhelming, but it does make sense if you can see that these are not like isolated things. I mean, when you were talking also about a roadmap, I think one of the key things about a good roadmap is it shows dependencies and it shows that you're prioritizing the things without which you can't do other things. So it's that kind of stuff. It's about, okay, well, not so much what order are things going to be done in, because that we don't know. It depends. But just what do we need to get in place before we can do other things, before we can do the rest of it? And what are the connections between the different elements of it? That I think would help understand it. I'm not asking you to answer that now, Jan. I'm just saying that I think if you focused on that in the first presentation, that would help people get a handle on it.
No, so I would like to comment a little bit on the dependencies because we have this, because we have different perspective and because we're going to this, you don't see my screen name here, to this situation where we have multiple websites and also multiple teams, like AI for Peace was a separate team that built that website. And because we have that gateway that will expose information for others to use, what we're aiming at is to reduce dependency so that we can do multiple things in parallel and we don't have to wait for each other or have deep discussions with each other on what data we want to have, how, etc. So that's one thing. At the same time, there are relations and maybe even dependencies. If we want to go for a unified profile and a single sign-on across all these websites, I wouldn't say it's a dependency because we can start without it, but it will be a connection point where we will be able to integrate everything and make a better experience for all our users. I didn't give too much thought about the perspectives themselves. I just started with funding, and I thought, oh, we have circles and clusters, and I thought, oh, we have all these websites. A different way of doing this would be doing it from the eyes of different audiences. So we have developers or people that want to create. We have circle members. We have potential partners. We have, like we were just discussing, our general potential community of interested people. So that could be an interesting one to try and tell the story from each of these perspectives. And then maybe it would be clearer for the audience because they will see, oh, partner, it's about me now, or oh, a creator, developer, it's about me now, and then so that might be a good suggestion. But yeah, I think I would have particular questions here for the event circle indeed. So would you think, and then the event circle, but also everybody here, right? We can all have a discussion on that together. Do you think it would be interesting for people to have this fixed 20-minute slot every town hall where we deep dive in a certain aspect of deep funding? And would it be good to have different people present that? The other thing, the other circle I would like to address here, I'm not sure who's here from that circle, is marketing, especially the visual people. So do you think you can improve this? Or do you think we can make this in a huge infographic, and maybe we don't need to use that for that helicopter view, but also for later purpose. What I also can imagine is we create an infographic or an interactive map of sorts, and that if you click on a topic, you'll get that video with that 2-minute explanation, or a text and a video, and you can choose what you want to do. So yeah, if we have that information, there's so much we can do with it. And I hope that will appeal to marketing. I hope that will also appeal to the UXers from the community website, maybe also, well, or UXers in general. Maybe so one perspective here is that at the top of those websites, you saw deepinitiatives.ai, which is our official name, which is not really our brand name, but since Deep Funding is already targeted as a funding portal, we could have that as an umbrella site, as a kind of corporate site, where we showcase everything we're doing and where everything comes together. And maybe you'll see the last 3 ideas and the last 3 awarded hackathon projects and so on, and existing or upcoming things and explanations and. So yeah, I hope to see that larger website also emerge and getting filled with more and more information, giving people insights without getting lost, and that will be a challenge. Rafael.
Yeah. Overall, yeah, I think it's interesting. I think definitely, divide the topics into smaller sections that we can cover and make it interesting. I would say that maybe some, as Vanny was mentioning, maybe like always having some initial context, like 1 minute intro saying, hey, this is the overall deep funding, this is what we do. Today we're gonna be approaching deeper this thing. We could do something like that to make it clearer, because we know that people won't attend all the town halls and sometimes you can have new people. So having that contest is interesting. And then it's all about, I think, trying to relate the content to how it affects the audience, right? So how it affects potential awarded teams, potential circle members, and could they contribute? How can they be a part of something, even if it's decision or whatever? So if we can do that link, I think it will be super interesting content, and I think it will be what people want to watch and want to be a part of. And if we can bring them somehow in that journey, that would be really cool. Then I see a lot of potential to make these into like you were saying, 20-minute videos. You put it on YouTube, you take them out from the town hall, and maybe you could do a little series from that. And that series would be on the deep funding channel and would be a great way for people to learn more about the deep funding in their free time. So maybe even if they skip the town hall and they just wanted to watch this, they could go back to this series and specifically watch this information. And we would get like just a collection of info on the program, which is always informative. Yeah, I think overall that's the comment on my side.
Thank you. Yeah, we can think about how to visualize that 1-2 minute overview that we want to show every time again. Like, we are now here, we are now talking about this, and yeah, maybe not this graphic, but maybe it will be something else. Another question I'm thinking right now is, should we do everything sequentially or more in parallel and already publish it, but then have, I don't know. And also not 100% sure if we should have the recordings of the town hall done that way, or if we should make separate recordings where you have the chance to do it over again, or so that you can polish it a little bit better and then do the presentation. I don't know. Last thing before Andrea, one thing that emerges in my mind right now is maybe we should have 3 levels in this sequence if we want to do it, and have first a session where we go really high level, where we'll just say, we have this funding thing, we have this organizational thing, we have this product and website thing, and trying really to keep that really high level, and then have 5 town halls, for instance, where we take one of these things, and then in the next town halls go even deeper. But maybe that will give a lot of redundancy as well. So not 100% sure there.
Yeah, Andrea.
Thank
hand
you.
up.
Yeah. Yeah, regarding letting people or stakeholders know more about the funding, that's part of the new content strategy that we have created or crafted. And I think we are actually trying to create videos and graphics or infographics to let people know more about this funding. Last week we were a little busy with the AI for Good, so we couldn't focus on the calendar we have planned. But that's the goal. And also regarding the town halls, the main goal has been creating intro videos that could serve as short videos for, sorry, let me silence my phone. Yes, short videos that could be shorts on YouTube, or any type of video we can share on LinkedIn or Twitter. And that's the idea. It's just that we haven't been able to obtain the vision. It's taking time, but hopefully soon events and marketing can get along with the solution. And but we can think about it even further and create another type of strategy or content creation that could allow us to let people know what we're doing, like internally. I think that's what John means. And yeah, letting people know more about deep funding in different ways. I think videos are really important and people like to see them. It's really easy to lose their attention. So that's a challenge for the marketing circle, right? And but we're working on that, and actually we are updating the video policy to include some of Jan's suggestions. That's one of the points that I wanted to address on the monthly report. But we are doing that in the weekly strategy call that we have. So yeah, we are hearing you, and we can see different ways of approaching this goal.
Yeah, great. So that is a nice, Tommy would say, synchronicity. So there's an overlap here, and we can reinforce these initiatives. I don't want to be in your way, by the way. If you say, Jan, we've got it all covered, don't worry, we'll take it from here. I'm very happy to give you the reins. On the other hand, yeah, maybe one can feed into the other some way. I'm also happy if you want me to. So I can imagine I can easily get, I think, 50 topics here on which I can do a 2-minute video. Each of the funding initiatives, I can do a 2-minute video to explain what is a deep funding round. What is a deep hackathon? What is a dualathon? Well, actually, it would be much, much stronger if it wouldn't be me, by the way, these 50 things. It would be Ubio telling about the dualathon, and it would be Rafa talking about deep funding rounds, and then I would say something about the RFPs or deep seed or whatever. But maybe this is also another angle. What if we would make a list of 50 or topics or however many we need that we think would be appropriate for a 2-minute video, and then start with the 2-minute part before we go in the deep dive part. And we could even have some fun and ask the community, which of these topics would you like to see addressed in the next town hall in a more in-depth way? And then, yeah, gamify that a little bit. So if we make that list, and then also the designated people who would be best presenting that, would be a good start, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, actually, I like that idea, because it's important to hear from the community, right? Instead of just marketing doing whatever they think it's gonna work. So yeah, I think it would be great if events could maybe share this list with everybody, and then marketing can take some of these titles, some of these topics, and create videos. And Bunny is right. 2 minutes for a video could be long. I would suggest having one max video, 1 minute max video, because we lose people's attention really, really fast. Like they only engage with a video if the first 10 seconds are worth watching. So I would suggest making 1 minute video, but it's up to the community. So let us know. And yeah, I think it's really, really good to have this.
So maybe we need to prepare this properly. So what I propose is I could make a starter for this list. Based on all the things that I've mentioned here, I can probably do that quickest. And create a list with a lot of topics that would be okay for this 1-minute video. Really a challenge. Then, because it's 1 minute, maybe we need to write it out, what we want to say. Because it's very easy for me to talk 15 minutes. It would be very hard to talk 1 minute and still make sure that you covered all the things. If it's about deep funding rounds or RFPs, we might want to name some numbers in those videos, which you don't have at top of mind. So it's not freewheeling. It would need to be very. It would be a military operation, if you want. Then the question is. Do we want actual people doing that, the responsible people doing the voiceover or being partly in view, or will you just, that would be very easy, feed it to an AI that will do the voiceover, with the benefit, if we would do it that way, we could very easily change it later on. If there's some new thing going on, we'll just change that text and have a new voiceover generated. So that's also appealing. It's actually an old idea that surfaces right now to do it right there. Actually, this is 3 years ago. I suggested for SingularityNet to have an FAQ, video-based FAQ, and doing exactly this, what I mentioned right now. And that whenever in a blog or whatever you would have a term like deep funding or deep seed or RFP, you could link to that small video or text, or the FAQ with a video or text or both, and get that explanation. So we can still do that as well. So I'm a little bit torn here. If we would do it generated, it would be flexible. It would be much easier to maintain. We can make changes and updates all the time, but we lose some authenticity. Or, thinking about that right now, you have these AI generated avatars of yourself, right? So I could make a virtual Jan and you could make a virtual Andrea, and I could be presenting things and it would be hard to see the difference. I think there are public services. We're doing something in SingularityNet, but it's more dedicated. I think it would be useful to just have some dedicated service for that. And yeah, you would need to have an image of all sides, and then maybe that is not a bad idea. And then we can start with all these small things in my mind, but I'm a visual guy. I would also see somewhere, maybe on the umbrella side, have a visual map, an infographic with all these clickable points, and then you click on something and you get the video explanation and maybe also the text below it. So that you can move around and see the whole thing. Actually, that could be almost the umbrella side, right? With just that. Sorry, I'm getting carried away here. I'm sure you notice. And then we can use those smaller things, and then we can ask the community which things they would like to have more information on. That's a little bit tricky because it's a little bit of a self-enforcing thing. We have a certain community, they're interested in certain things, so those will get the community most interest. And as an example, I'm very fond of what I see happening with the back office, but I think nobody will ask for a video or an in-depth explanation on the back office. At the same time, having it out there and giving some perspective on that could give a lot of trust to potential partners. But those partners will not be the one voting on things. So maybe we need to do it a little bit in a mixed way. But yeah, great session. I like where this is going. What do you think? Is this the right direction?
Okay. Oh, Victor. Yeah, sorry.
No, I was about to call on you, and I wanted to like read what Vanny said in chat. She was suggesting that we use an AI voice like 11 Labs and voice sample so that it doesn't sound like some generic American voice. And yeah, so Vanny was trying to give some suggestions to how this presentation could look like and how we could leverage on using AI voice.
Yeah, so we can do it two ways. We can choose a voice. So we can have a kind of like you have a branding. We can, and you already discussed, mentioned that, Andrea, to have something like that. To have the voice, to select the voice of deep funding and really think about what a good voice is, what is an appropriate voice, or have three voices, I don't know. And then use that as a voiceover for all these things and keep it neutral and more official in a sense. But potentially also a little bit more boring. So if it were up to me, I would like to see Victor present or how operations or our health yearly report works. And I would like to see Andrea tell something about events or marketing or dualathon or whatever. And I would like to see Ubio, well, and you get the drift. It will tell something about our community as well, and that will tell a story. But again, so yeah, if we want to combine what is pragmatic and what is authentic, then I would say the direction of having these avatars created of the people that are speakers, so that they don't have to that it just have to train the avatar, but we can change the text and it will then be spoken with their voice and their image. While I'm saying this, I think maybe not everybody would feel comfortable with that, which is also totally appropriate, right? Yeah, funny.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah, just to say it wouldn't have to be a literal avatar of a person. We can create a sort of more generic AI voice based on somebody if we have enough voice samples from them. I know we have enough from you, Jan, definitely, but we'd have to take it from meetings from where people have spoken or just get people to read a couple of pages. And then, yeah, 11 Labs is one tool that can do this. It will create an AI voice based on samples. So we could even have a few different people in there if we really wanted to, but I don't think we'd need to. But I would say it'd be good to have maybe 3 voices that are the voices of deep funding and make sure it's spread across the different continents and the different genders that are represented in the community.
So you prefer having 3 official voices rather than having avatars of actual people?
I think so, because it can just be a bit exposing. And what happens if one of those people leaves? You know what I mean? It's kind of
We have to make a new one, and you don't want to do that too often. So doing it standardized is the most pragmatic one. Maybe we can still combine it with longer presentations as we're doing in the town hall, and then somehow link that. Do you want to know more about dualathons? Then look at this 15-minute presentation, and then you get the actual person doing an actual presentation in the town hall, for instance. Would that be appropriate? Good.
Are you asking me?
Well,
Yeah,
you're still
okay.
in my top view, so.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I mean it could be. I balk a little bit at 15-minute presentation. I think we just need to keep these things short. And even if it's meant to be a bit more lengthy, 7 minutes is plenty. We need to keep these things engaging and short enough for people to give their attention to. Everyone's short
Yeah.
of attention, you know?
Yeah. Totally right. Totally right. Yeah, so that would be a challenge if we would do it. Well, let's put it differently. If we want to do it that way, then we shouldn't reuse the presentations in the town halls. Then we should just make dedicated material for this purpose. And it could be a 1-minute video and maybe a slightly longer, but you would prepare it, know what you want to say more or less, and then take 3 or 5 recordings and choose the best one and put it there. That's how I do it. Sometimes it's one time right, great, and sometimes I struggle, and usually the shorter the video is, the more I struggle and the more takes I need. But yeah, so having it read out and then having these 3 avatars being created, more or less custom. I'm thinking of the Netherlands. There was this bank, and they were well known for their commercials because they had a woman with a certain accent, and it was like an accent from the south of the Netherlands or the north of the Netherlands, it doesn't matter. But it was very uncommon because normally in commercials you have people speaking flawless, regular Dutch. But because that accent, everybody knew it, and it was immediate connection point and immediate. So yeah, I think we can go that way, and maybe even tick on the global boxes, like somebody with a little bit African accent, somebody little South African, South American, Asian. We don't want to overdo it, but or maybe one that is really Oxford English. I don't know. Yeah, think about it. How many we would need, and the more you have, the less recognizable it would be as deep funding. Would be great if somebody would hear that voice somewhere that is somehow part in our community, and then when they hear the voice, something in their mind would already say deep funding. That would be great.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. It will not be hard to get Jan's voice. You can use this video as well to get Jan's voice because Jan has spoken a
I
lot.
wouldn't recommend using my voice.
Jan has spoken a lot, so yeah, you can use Jan's voice. So yeah, do we have any more questions, any more contributions, or any more topic in general?
Actually, seriously thinking about it, and I'm sure you're joking, but it would not be good having my voice. This is a community program, so it should be the voice of the community. And whatever represents, if we can have one or two or three voices that we feel somehow represent the community, that would be great.
Yeah, I think one of the persons that have a very good voice for presentation is Vani. Vani, what do you think?
Oh God. Please don't make me do it.
So Vani asked the question in chat. Out of all the accents we have here, what's the most appealing?
I'm just joking, really. There's this thing in the UK where it's like what they use for adverts, and they've got this idea that a Yorkshire accent is trustworthy, and you know, apparently a Birmingham accent sounds like you're stupid. And it's just people have certain ideas of what an accent is, and the accent from the place I come from, it's like they're going to rob your car. Watch out.
Okay.
Well, that's a good representation of our community as any, I would say.
Okay. So I guess Andrea will be figuring that out, right? That's for the marketing circle, I think. Right, Andrea?
Yeah, sorry, I was looking for the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the most authentic way to present it funding and the community would be to record someone from the community, right? As for the voiceover, we will look for some maybe African boys or South American boys, maybe the three of them, to make it more appealing, probably. So yeah, we will brainstorm on that for sure.
All right. Cardoso, your hands are up.
Yeah,
So
I think it would probably be good to have a few voices, but not too many. So we could have a male voice and a female voice, and we could have South American and African accents, for instance. That would already bring us a long way. That would already be a good representation of where we are today, I would say, and would be recognizable. But yeah, sorry for interruption.
no worries. I just to clarify, and I think tell me if you agree, but I would say that the next steps would be then to define the topics, maybe bring them into a call. I think a call with the three circles for outreach could be a good place for that, for you to join us, Jan, and bring the topics. And then we could think of a plan to organize how to do the shorts. Like, for example, if we're doing them first, then we need to plan that, do the shorts, put them out, and then do the videos. We can also think of other plans, like the idea you're saying, maybe doing a poll of what would you like to hear first or whatever. But yeah, I think potentially this needs a bit more preparation and a little bit more of like putting the plan down into the paper and then start executing. And we always have time to make changes afterwards.
I love it. So what I really like about this meeting is that I'm going out with different ideas than I came in with. I thought I had it all figured out. But with your input, I think we made it into something greater. And so the plan, as I think it is we have these 1 minute. So I will make a draft, an initial list with all the topics. I will share it in the all circles, and I will invite everybody to add more topics to it. And we need to figure out the right detail level of these things. But then we need to go through an exercise together. And then maybe the knowledge circle and the proofreading circle could have an input here, making short text for all these things. Then if we have, and then in parallel, marketing could work on doing some exploration and investigation on voice creation. Well, Vani, you already had that 11 labs or something. So if we have something, we need to test it. We need to do a kind of proof of concept there and then see how we want to go further. Then if we get to a stage where we can generate all those videos, to be determined what kind of image would be there. Would it be a talking head? Would it be an image? Would it be a talking head together with subtitles or some phrases? I think that usually works very well. Somebody talks and that the keywords are added on the screen. Then if we have those videos, we can find ways to publish them. And then we can ask the community if there are things that they would like to see addressed in a town hall. And I would say from a town hall perspective, we can also pick and choose from that list and say, well, if we think it's time this week to do a short explanation on this or this topic, but we can also get it from the community and then combine it somehow. Does that sound like a plan that everybody subscribes to?
Yeah, I can see thumbs up. At least 2 for now, maybe more. Yeah, I think I can see thumbs up.
Is there anybody that doesn't believe in this approach? Are there any skeptics in the room? We need you. You will make us better. Come on. How many people are here? 40. Not one skeptic here. Can't believe it.
I guess they are too shy to speak.
I think so too. They're hiding. They will just come in 3 months and then they say, I always knew this was a bad idea. So it's speak up now or be silent forever.
And if you cannot speak up, please, all circles channel, you need to make contributions. You need to tell us you don't like this thing that Jan presented. And by the way, another side note, I don't think I've ever seen someone that knows how to draw diagrams more than Jan. So whenever I see Jan's diagrams, especially when it comes to processes and explanation, I'm always wowed. How do you figure out how to draw these things? I could easily look at the diagrams and understand and understand what you mean, even without your explanations and all this kind of stuff.
It's a capability to accept compliments. So I won't make any remark. I'll just accept your compliment. Thank you. I appreciate that. By the way, I have fun. I like making those diagrams. It helps me think, and I like visualizing it in a way. But sometimes with more or less success. But I do like making them. But I'm sure there are people out there like that are professional infographics makers, that this is also inside out view, right? And if somebody from the outside would do it, they would make a whole different thing. So that is still another exercise we could do here. But appreciate your compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jan. Abdul Basit, you've been raising up your hands and bringing it back down and raising up and bringing it back down. You have something to say, please?
Thank you, Mayor. I thought it's really not necessary any longer, but I still feel like I should say it's all about the voiceover. It has been something we have been considering at the marketing circle, as there are a lot of differences and all of that. So what I just want to suggest, probably it could work, is Jan is a very good speaker. I don't know if anybody would disagree to that when he presents. if it is possible that we can have his voice cloned for one of the voices I might be using, just to have a well consistent brand messaging and a consistent brand messaging and all of that. So Jan or any other person that will be interested, we are looking into that direction at the marketing cycle level as well. So it's very important that we get that done so as to ensure consistency, not only for this program, but for other messages that will be passing across.
Okay, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Abdurrahman. But like Ian said, it's a community-run program, and he wouldn't like to be that voiceover. So it would be best if someone could do that. You can reach out to anyone. You've been joining meetings, you have been hearing people speak. If you feel like there is somebody that speaks very well, definitely not me. You could you can reach out to them, and yeah, they could offer to be one of the voiceovers, something like that.
Well, so what kind of situations are you thinking about, Abdul? When would you need a particular voice from me or a community member?
Left to me, I would prefer we have your voice and perhaps other members from the community, just to have a consistent in whatever thing that we put out. Like I said, not necessarily for this program alone, but from other content that we'll be creating from the side of the marketing as well.
Yeah, so the reason I'm asking is if we would have a generated voice that sounds authentic or as a real, particular real person, and we will be able to generate written text into that voice, would that not serve your purpose, or would you still need to have a live person? Or, I mean, if it's in a presentation like this one, then yeah, maybe that generated thing wouldn't help. If it is in predefined, pre-created material, it should be possible.
Yeah, that should be possible. Like you mentioned that the 11 lab will allow that to be possible, but if it is a physical presentation like this, that might not be really necessary. So you have to talk in person. But if it is for the kind of presentation like you mentioned here, we can have some sort of things like that to be created as content from the marketing cycle as well moving forward. So we could actually use that kind of voice. So the 11 lab that you mentioned is a very great tool that Vanny have been used. I don't know. So it's a very great tool, and the version 3 is very well interested. Like you can do a lot of gesture, a lot of things with that very voice recording, while we put in some text and give some kind of maybe some kind of movement to that very particular context. So it's very possible to generate voice. Then we add some kind of images, like you said, and we agree on content that can be actually flow in line with that very generated voice. So it will be required that we have, I don't know, we have deep funding dedicated level lab account as a pro, so that for anybody that will be working on content creation, so they'll have access to that and they can use that very voice directly.
Okay. I like your last point. We have a form for that, right? So you can just, if you think it's necessary to have a deep funding 11 Lab Pro account, I think we have a form for that. So you just need to fill it in and let us know what the subscription is like, and we will review and see if it makes sense. Yep. So any other contributions, any other questions? We are almost at the top of the hour. I guess not. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for attending today's All Ends. During the next all ends like this, it's going to be the monthly retrospective, and before the monthly retrospective, there's going to be a half yearly report, which is going to happen next week Wednesday, and then upper Wednesday is going to be our normal monthly retrospective for July. As well, we'll still have our town hall next week. Our town hall is not postponed. It still happens next week on Thursday. The retrospective of the half yearly is on Wednesdays. So I guess next week is going to be packed for both circle members and for especially the event circle, because we are going to be organizing 2 events in 2 days. I remember the last time we did something like this was stressful, very stressful. So thank you guys for attending today's All Ends. I'll see you again next week. Probably not me. Who is who is going to be posting next week? Ayo, right?
Ayo.
Yeah, Ayo will be seeing you again next week. Bye, guys.
You gotta go keep the mystery. If people want to know, they need to show up.
Okay, okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye bye.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.